Hey everybody, I want to introduce you to our latest sponsor, Salt Electrolytes. Feeling depleted after a tough grappling session? Well, Salt targets your depleted electrolyte levels with a boost of hydration and health. It gives your body the baseline recovery it needs. Salt contains 6 different electrolytes with a touch of iodine to help maintain a healthy thyroid. No sugar, no dyes, no bullshit. Go earn your salt. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the BJJ Foxcast. I am your host, Alex Martinez, and I'm here with my co-host, Tojo. That's all I'm going to say. Just Tojo.
Alex.
Well, that's your call sign, right? Just Tojo.
Just Tojo.
Just Tojo.
Underscore Tojo.
And why? Because did everybody call you the Tojo?
Yeah. When I was telling Gary, I was like, yeah. So my buddy Alex started the podcast. He's like, wait, so it's 2 Alexes? He's like,
it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it is.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like the other podcast is still in the SIM cards. I don't know that I want to release it.
Why? Did we say too many racist things?
No, not enough.
Yeah,
no, no, we didn't. It's not that. It's just like I'm kind of torn because some of the things that I said, I don't know that I okay, you remember?
Now that you're saying this, everyone's going to be like, you have to release it.
I have to release that show. I'll release it. But it's like, when we talked about, I think I'm thinking a lot about remember when we talked about the entitlement of some people?
Uh-huh.
I keep thinking like, am I being unfair to people calling them entitled? Like for example, there's some black belts, like if a white belt goes hard with them, they get pissed. Like almost like a how dare you kind of thing.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think that's okay.
Just revamp this whole conversation.
I don't know, man. I'm not trying to revisit it, but I'm just saying like it bothers me, but who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to say anything?
You're a guy with a microphone and an opinion.
And you will listen to every damn thing I have to say. No, I know I do have an opinion, and honestly, like nothing is worse than talking to somebody that doesn't have an opinion. You ever talk to those?
Yeah.
Fucking terrible. Whatever. Yeah.
It's like asking your wife what you want for dinner.
Yeah. That's marriage until you die. No, somebody just agrees with everything. You know what I mean? That doesn't give you any pushback.
I mean, there's definitely topics where I don't have an opinion on.
And that's okay. That's okay to not have.
Or I'm not informed enough to feel like I have an opinion.
Right. But do you feel like you should share your opinion anytime you have one?
Do I feel like I should share it? If prompted. I don't usually feel like I need to voice it into the ether for no reason.
Yeah.
But if someone asks me my opinion, I'm not gonna give the sugar-coated fake opinion. I'm gonna tell them how I feel about it. If they want to know, they shouldn't. If they don't want to know, they shouldn't have asked. Yeah.
I like when people start with, it's none of my business, but I always reply with, you're right. It is none of your business.
And the fun part about a podcast is it kind of switches that script where we're not being prompted to give our opinions. We're giving our opinions without anybody telling us to.
Right.
But they don't have to listen.
You can shut it right off.
Yeah.
You can shut it right. But sometimes like the shorts get shoved in your face. You know what I mean? And before you can swipe.
I don't know. I'm pretty quick.
Stupid. Are you?
I see my face. I'm like, I don't want to hear my voice again.
Yeah. I'm sitting there like, what the hell did I just say? Yeah. No. Anyway, I don't want to revisit. Yeah. Okay. We'll release it.
Yeah. Just release it. Who cares?
Yeah. And I had a couple people like telling me like, oh, you haven't had a podcast in a few weeks. We're changing the studio, and honestly, like I can't figure out what I want.
Yeah.
Like I think.
Do you not have an opinion?
I have an opinion. I'm just not an expert in it. You know what I mean? Like I've got 3 beautiful lights that are shut off,
Mm-hmm.
And we're using we're using the cheapest light set that I have. And it's not bad.
I think it's going to help you dial it in once you change these walls.
Yeah. Once I shiplap this wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I didn't want to give out what you were doing.
Oh, it's okay. And then probably paint a little bit.
There's some home remodelers that are like, oh, great, another shiplap wall.
Another damn shiplap. Yeah. Well, you know what? Fuck your opinion.
I mean, you're not in Gilbert, but we might as well be in Gilbert.
No. This is like anti-Gilbert.
Mesa?
Yeah. Mesa's like the anti-Gilbert.
It's the Browner Gilbert.
It is. My people. Go north of the 60, homie. That's all I'm saying. Just go north of the 60.
Or south of the 60 on Alma School, Ojos Locos.
Ojos Locos. Dude, remember that place opened up? It was Was it something before Old Chicago? It was always Old Chicago.
As far as I know, it's been Old Chicago. I feel like it was something. I remember telling my mom about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that was blah blah blah," but I don't remember what she said it was.
I kind of miss, like, actually, I was talking to one of my blue belts today, yesterday, and you were talking about like
he could beat up everybody.
He could beat up. It's so blue belts.
Yeah,
beat up everybody.
I said that.
Yeah, and yeah, it's you know why you said it?
It's true.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
No, but I was talking to one of my blue belts, and he was like, "Man," he goes, "we should do something like after a tournament, stuff like that." I was like, "Man, we used to when tournaments were like Saturday, Sunday." Fuck, those were long days. Anyway, they were Saturday, Sunday, and then we'd just like take over a bar.
Yeah.
And like Bogies. Bogies was always really good to us because like Nolan would call ahead.
Because he's an alcoholic.
He's an alcoholic.
And he's been there a lot.
Yeah. But Nolan would call ahead, let them know that we're coming, and they would staff it. Remember, I can't remember the name of the place, but they didn't staff. It was a Saturday tournament. And we called them and let them know, like, we got like 100 people coming. And
they're probably like, we're just gonna close.
Yeah. Well, we showed up and everybody's ordering food and they were just like so overwhelmed.
I don't remember that.
It was like
it's been a long time since we had like a big after tournament showing, which is like the 1 day tournaments just suck because you're just so drained.
It's so long. Yeah. It's such a long day.
Like I get that, like, yeah, they have to pay double like in order to have these tournaments for 2 days, but
don't get me wrong, I'm happy we don't have 2 day tournaments anymore. Those were really? Too much, man. They were just too much.
I don't. Well,
I mean, whole weekend.
I guess it's one thing too if you have to fucking pay $30 to get in the door.
Yeah, yeah.
As a spectator, you know that's in my opinion that's ridiculous.
Well, you also have to take into account how many people's hands are in that pot.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the tournament saying, you know, you $30. It's the venue's got to get a piece, you know, and then like the people that run it, they're not part of the ownership of the venue.
Yeah.
They're a subcontractor. They got to get a piece. And then the tournament's got to get a piece. So it's a lot of people's hands. That's why drinks are $7, you know, for a bottle of water. I mean, everybody's got their hand in it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just the way it is.
Send it back to Phoenix College.
Bro, you know what? That was probably like the worst venue in the worst location, but I kind of miss those tournaments at Phoenix College.
I mean, they did it 2 days because it was cheap.
Yeah.
And it was just.
Does anybody go to Phoenix? You ever met anybody who goes, I'm a proud alumni?
I'm pretty
homie.
sure that school is a scam.
Yeah. I actually knew a guy that played baseball there.
Sure he did.
Yeah. Baseball.
Remember that?
Probably dealt drugs.
That furniture store on Elliott. Is it Elliott? Yeah, Elliott and Alma School that we went to when we were looking for chairs.
Yes.
That place is a front.
That is 100%. Dude, there's no way they can be making money.
They have never sold a piece of furniture.
There's no fucking way, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
well, I mean, it's like a junkyard of furniture.
It is.
And everything is like $10,000 for this mattress. You're like,
yeah.
So you don't want anybody to buy anything here.
We sat in these mediocre looking chairs, and you were being polite. I'm surprised. But they sat in these mediocre looking chairs, and they're like, oh, those are $400. I'm like, for 12? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was
But
awful.
like, remember the furniture place that used to be by Paul's? Also a front?
Also a front. The Amish one?
No. That one's still there, I think.
Okay.
No, it was like in the corner. Now it's like that autism center or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That was the big like,
yeah,
marquee
and none of us ever saw anybody walk through those doors.
No, certainly not. And I think I remember like the owner there, he had like a Corvette. You know what I mean? So he's not rich.
Well, the mob pays well.
The mob does pay well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Corvette is like, we were just talking about this the other day, man. Like, of all the like sports cars,
they're the lamest.
not a fan. Yeah. Not a fan.
For me, like Corvettes are like a vibe, and it's like the vibe is Viagra. I was telling you about
comes with a free bottle of Cialis.
That YouTube channel. It's called VinWiki. VinWiki is the name of the YouTube channel.
Okay.
But the guy who started it is a guy who basically sold luxury sports cars, like high-end sports cars.
Okay.
And he's like, I will never do business with a Corvette dealer or someone selling a Corvette.
How come?
Because, well, he's like, every single person who has a Corvette thinks it's one of a kind.
Oh, okay.
So if it's a $20,000 Corvette, they're like, it's worth 40. Right? Because they're like, oh, this was the only year that it did convertible in this color red and a stick shift and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is the only one I sat in.
Oh, my God.
But he was like kind of like breaking it down and was like, yeah, that is kind of how my experience with Corvette owners has been too, is it's their baby.
Yeah.
You know, and no one can tell them their baby isn't special.
I can.
Yeah.
I'll tell them. Yeah. I mean, stand by. Hold my beer. I'll tell them.
Short of like the those like 70s Stingray.
Those are cool.
The one, remember in Rush Hour?
Yes.
Chris Tucker had one.
Yeah.
Is that his name, Chris Tucker?
Yeah. Chris Tucker had one, the black one.
That one was dope.
Gorgeous.
That one, like, I don't like convertibles, but that one made me want to have a convertible Corvette.
Yeah. Have you ever owned a convertible?
Did I ever own a convertible? I don't think so. My mom had. I remember when I was a kid, my mom bought a Chrysler Sebring convertible, and I was so mad at her because I was like, the Sebring is like the lamest car.
What do you mean?
It's like,
oh, hang on, we lost something.
Uh-oh.
Something happened. So convertibles.
No, hold on. I have to finish my thought about
Chrysler
Sebrings.
I know, but I want to backtrack because I don't know how far back I screwed this up.
Gotcha.
So shitting on Corvettes. Have you ever owned a convertible? And you have not, but your mom. Go.
Well, yeah, we were talking about the Corvette convertible in Rush Hour, which is dope.
Yes, the black one.
Yeah, it's beautiful car.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my mom got a Chrysler Sebring convertible. And I was so mad at her because I was like, why are you getting this fucking old man car? Like, they're so boring. Like, they're like the Ford Taurus. It's just like, there's like nothing appealing about that vehicle to me.
You know, the Taurus was a race car for a long time. It was their race car.
You mean for NASCAR?
Yeah.
It was the shell that they put over the fucking race frame.
But they actually made like it was a Ford Taurus. It was like a SHO that was like their like marquee car.
That's like the Chevy Cavalier SS.
No, it's not.
You're right. It's probably worse.
Probably worse. Yeah.
At least the Chevy Cavalier SS was like aimed to kids.
Yes.
It's like, this is a 16-year-old kid's car.
Yeah.
Sports car.
That they can crash and no one cares.
It gets like 120 horsepower.
They'll total it and they'll be out $58.
They're like, here's some extra money so you can get another car. Yeah, a Ford Taurus is like the middle-aged guy. He's like, I want to have my midlife crisis, but I made poor life decisions, so I don't have the money to do it.
Yeah. You want a yellow Corvette? Nope. Can't afford it. Can't do that one.
Because they're all selling for double their worth.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Or trying to be sold for double their worth.
Yeah, they had a oh gosh. Remember the Chrysler LeBaron convertible? Remember that piece of shit?
Is it from Mexico?
Nah, it's from here.
No.
It's from here. It's
LeBaron?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Maybe he had something he had something to do with it.
I don't know,
man.
I mean, there's a lot of Mormons there in Mexico.
There are, yeah. Yeah, we met 90% of them. They're all in one town. Yeah, so a long time ago, my ex-wife and I bought a Mustang convertible. Probably the worst car I've ever owned.
That's another lame car.
Dude, probably the worst car I've ever owned.
So here's my opinion, and I'm going to share it without you prompting me.
Oh.
Like I do. You can turn me off. You just got to turn the mic off.
Just shut the fucking mic off.
Right as I start talking, cut the mic. If you get a sports car and a convertible, you don't have a sports car.
No, well, I mean, you lose some of the...
It doesn't look like a sports car anymore. You lose the body stiffness. Like, it's not a sports car. You're running a different vibe if you get a convertible. Yeah, it's car.
Different. It's a different vibe. But I guess what really screwed me up is I owned a convertible in Virginia. Such a bad idea. That is like the worst place to own it. It's gonna rain.
Yeah,
like all the time.
Even in the summer, you're gonna get mosquitoes everywhere.
You're gonna get mosquitoes, and then the East Coast celebrates hurricanes with a season. You know what I mean? It's hurricane season.
Yes, finally.
Holy shit.
Something can clean
I can
everything.
break out the decor. Fucking hurricane season.
Are you talking about the shiplap windows?
On the outside? Yeah, dude. Yeah. You had storm windows, and then you'd have to fucking put plywood over them so you don't die.
You're like, in the South, those shutters are for a reason. Every house here has shutters, and they're like a size of a quarter of the window. You're like, I mean, obviously they're just decoration. It's just so funny that's like the aesthetic that a lot of people go for in Arizona and Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate it.
It always kills me. You know what kills me? Like the fact that like I get that they don't work. They're just for like the aesthetic, but they don't. They wouldn't even work because they're the wrong size. Like if you're gonna go for the aesthetic and be a poser, like at least make it look like it would actually work.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God.
I have opinions.
He has opinions. So, you know what I'm noticing, like talking to people now, like at open mats and stuff. Like
I don't want to hear any of them.
The thought, other than that, no, the thought of not cross training is weird now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
No, it's great. But I mean, not too long ago, that was like super frowned upon. It probably still is in some places.
I was going to say, there's definitely still schools, even in Phoenix, which in my opinion is probably one of the more open demographic or whatever you want to call it areas. Like everyone here is really about cross training at other schools.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I think we're pretty open, but we do have a couple of old school guys down here too.
Yeah.
That are not into that game.
I mean, like, I think the reason for that originally was like, I don't know, man. It wasn't so much like an ego thing, like you're not allowed to because I say so. I think it's like,
I think there's a lot of that.
Well, there is, yeah. There was some of that, but I think some of it was also like, you know, if you're training with like a legit black belt and your buddy trains at a school that's got like a blue belt, they didn't want you going there and like giving out, you know, I hate to call it secrets.
I definitely think there's a lot of different things. I think the secrets thing, I think there's a little bit of the ego, like why can't you get it here? Like why do you need to go somewhere else?
Yeah, that's part of it.
You know, I think there's a lot to it. I think, and there's probably a little bit of like rollover from like the really old school traditional like martial arts days where like, you know, people would like the other dojo was like your enemy.
Right.
You know, I think there's still some rollover from that old school traditional, you know,
very little.
I mean, I think BJJ in general is kind of a little, they took some of the traditional stuff and kept it, but they took a lot of it and threw it out the window.
Yeah.
Right. But there's still like, you know, the bowing on and off the mats that a lot of people do at their school, bow to the school. Some schools like bow to Helio. Have you seen that? Have you heard about that?
I've seen it. I've been in places where they do that.
He's a cool dude. I ain't bowing to his picture. That's a little weird. That's a little weird to me.
But it's like the whole lining up, bowing to a picture, bowing to a flag or something like that. I think for the most part, there might be one or two people that actually believe that shit, and the rest of them are doing it like out of politeness.
Yeah, I'm like, it's the rules here. I mean,
yeah.
When I say that, I'm not like, if I went to a school and that was their thing when they were like, you know, bowing in, yeah, of course. I'm not gonna like not follow the rules or anything like that. It's like when you go to someone's house and they do what is it called? When they pray before they
pray. They pray before the meal.
What do they call that though?
Say grace.
Grace, yeah. Like I'll put my head down, do all that bullshit.
In case Jesus is watching.
Just in case. Keeping everything, keeping my bases covered.
You gotta have options.
Yeah,
you gotta have options. You don't want to piss them off.
But you know what I mean? It's like you kind of respect the tradition of where you're at, but I still think it's silly.
I guess.
Bowing to a picture of one of the founders of your sport, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna shit on anybody for doing what they do. That is what it is.
Isn't that what this podcast is about?
No, we shit on the comments.
Oh, my bad.
We shit all over the comments.
I missed that memo.
No, I don't know, man. But yeah, so I was really thinking about that, like open mat at my places on Saturday, and then we go to Paul's on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I don't really go outside of that because I just don't have freaking time.
Yeah,
you know, I
mean, your school's kind of far from you.
Yeah.
Paul's is right down the street.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I feel like supporting my own open mat is a good idea. So I go out there on Saturdays.
Yeah, I think that's honestly probably what you should do.
Yeah. But then outside of that, I don't have time to visit somebody else's open mat, you know? Yeah. And like you said, Paul's is so convenient. It's been really good. Today was a little slow.
Was it?
Yeah, a little slow. I mean, not like, you know, slow, but I mean, it's like an hour in, I mean, everybody's scattered.
Yeah, I mean, it's New Year's week, though, or the weekend. People like to celebrate these holidays like they're doing something.
That is the stupidest. You've said some stupid shit, dude. You've said some stupid shit.
It's the reality.
It is not the reality.
Yeah, people are fucking dumb. That's why, like...
People are fucking dumb.
They're like, oh, I can't train this week because New Year's is one day.
Yeah.
You know, like classes are always like slow during Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and.
Well, some people can't train for the next 11 months and 23 days because New Year's.
Because New Year's, yeah. It's New Year's, so I can't train this year.
Yeah.
All year.
My God.
I don't get it, but a lot of people do that. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like it's like those. I remember there was this girl that I used to like hang out with when we were in college, and she would celebrate her birthday for the whole fucking month.
That's stupid.
It's stupid.
No, I wouldn't entertain that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't.
Okay.
I mean, other than the fact that we would always go out and drink, but we were in college.
That's different. You're in college. Yeah.
You get a drink on your birthday. That's
maybe.
Maybe. Or whenever we officially celebrate. But I'm not celebrating your birthday every single day.
Hell no. Hell no.
She was an only child.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's my birthday week or my birthday weekend. The weekend, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Birthday weekend, you're gonna go somewhere? Cool. All right, I don't mind. But no, not a birthday week or a month.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one.
Assuming you don't die, it happens every year.
Yep. Assuming you don't die. Yeah, man. Tell me about the hunting trip today.
Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome and also very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I got out to my spot. We've talked about my deer that I killed last year, where I met these two guys that were out there that helped me get this deer, and they were one of the guys came back out this weekend, and he was just like, he pulled up to my truck and with his side by side or whatever, and he like shot me a text. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, I just parked by your truck. I'm up here," and I'm like, "Hey, come on up," because this glassing spot that I was in is kind of the only real good glassing spot in the area. So like it's kind of like, where most people would want to go, but it is a little bit of a hike. So there's a lot of lazy ass people that come through the area for like an hour and then leave. Yeah. But they know how to hunt the area. So they always try to go up there. But I always, I'm always there early as hell. But anyways, I just shot him a text. I was like, "Yeah, come on up." He's like, "Hey, I'm with this young kid. He's trying to kill his first deer, and his uncle or something. I can't remember what he said, from Arkansas." I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. Come on up."
Was the kid bow hunting?
Yeah.
Nice.
That kid had some eyes on him. He saw he was the first to find all 3 sets of deer that we found. And that kid is just like, deer.
Wow.
Yeah. And they were all really cool. But yeah, so we found this deer that like was kind of like making its way from farther, kind of like a little bit out in the hills, a little bit farther away from us, and sort of like kind of paralleling kind of this like ridge line that was kind of getting a little closer to us, but then like, but more like kind of like parallel to our view or perpendicular to like our viewpoint. And then he kind of like, they just dropped into this little ravine, came back up over this hill that was like right at the base of our hill. There's a big flat spot, and then the hill's on the other side of the flat spot. Okay. So like it was 800 yards away from us from the top of this hill that we were on. So we watched them. They eventually bedded down. And then I was like, the kid was like, "Hey, you were up here first. You go get him." I was like, "Cool. That's really nice of you." So I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm gonna go try." Right. Yeah. So we like, get everything set up, like talk about like how to, work the wind, how to get work the terrain. So I get out there, I get around to the back of the little knob or the little like ridge line that they're on, and I start like sneaking up over the top, and I can like see like the glassing point, like, and I'm texting him like, "Hey, I'm at the top of the hill." And he's like, "Oh, it's a little bit to your left, 45 degrees down." And he's like, "Can you see him?" And like, I don't see anything. So I start like glassing, taking like slow steps over the hill. And then finally, like I finally see his tines like behind this dead bush. And I'm like, "All right, there he is." So then I like start working in a little bit closer to where I know that I can see because we knew he was bedded. So I just like needed to be able to see like the top of his head. Because then when he stands up, he's going to be perfect. So I find the spot. I'm sitting there. I have my bow ready. I have an arrow nocked. I've already ranged the bush, added a couple of yards because he's in front of the bush, and I'm sitting there with my arrow nocked in my hand, bow in my hand, and I'm like, "All right, just need him to stand." And Gary texts me. He's like, "Just waiting for him to stand." I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "Roger." All right, cool. Let's just wait. So We're sitting here. I must have stood there for a half an hour. A side-by-side comes down the road that's in the flat spot. No, that's it. It's fine. Okay. And honestly, I was like, cool, this is going to make him stand up, but not because they don't usually like, sometimes like when they're like, when something like a car or, side-by-side comes down the road, they'll stand up to get ready to run if they come at them. But then they're like, okay, that's fine. And will
they bed down the same spot?
sometimes, or sometimes they'll like, you know, oh, well, I guess I'll eat. Since
Okay. Yeah.
You know, as long as they don't like fully spook out of the area, they'll settle back down.
Yeah.
But the guy in the side by side stops right at the bottom of, not right at the bottom of the hill, but like right in the middle of the opening. And I'm like, you motherfucker. So, cause he's like starts glassing and he's like in his side by side, not getting out. He's kind of glassing the hill. So I'm kind of like waving at him, kind of like, I'm right here. Don't you fucking do it.
Don't you fucking shoot me.
Don't you run up the hill and spook these deer. I mean, from where he was at, like, I don't even like the most like rookie of bow hunters wouldn't have run straight at him. They would have known to go around because he's like right in the middle of the site. They're staring right at him basically. Yeah. So I ended up talking to him. He's like, I finally found you on top of the hill and decided I wanted to like I'm already here. I don't want to get back in my side by side and start it up and then spook him. So he's like, he basically got out of his side by side and walked away, and then walked around a bush. And I saw him like kind of glassing, trying to watch the scenario and see how it unfolds. Yeah. And it ended up being Gary's buddy that I saw him kill his first deer last year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't remember if I told you this one. So he shot this deer. It's just a little spike deer, but his first deer. Yeah. And he ended up kind of like liver shotting it. So the deer ran a couple hundred yards and bedded down, and he ended up having to go over and slit its throat.
Well, oh yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
But he's like a rancher dude. Like he's had to do stuff like that with like sheep and stuff. So he's like, all right, fine. But he's a really nice guy. But yeah, so he watched the whole thing from there. But I'm sitting here and I'm watching this deer and waiting for him to stand up. I'm like trying to manifest this. I'm like, stand up. I'm just like yelling at him in my head. Yeah. I'm sitting here, my arm's starting to get fucking tired because I'm sitting here just like kind of holding my bow, and I'm kind of like, I'm not drawing my bow, but I'm like kind of like holding my release on my D loop, just kind of like holding it back just a little bit just to be in that position. Yeah. Because I didn't want to like completely like put my hand down, because if he stood up, I didn't know
extra movement
with that. And I like, if I had to like, hook my D loop, like maybe he sees that.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't want to like, I wanted to be ready to draw and shoot as soon as he stood up. So I had to sit in that same position for like a half an hour. Eventually he stands up, I draw my bow, and right as I draw my bow, he looks up at me. I don't know if he looks up at me, but he just kind of like looks up the hill. Yeah. Right. And I put my pin on him and I release, and it just sails right over his back. Oh man. And I'm like sitting there like, fuck. I completely fucked that shot up. Yeah. Like, I must have just, because I watched the arrow go right over his back. I'm like right into the bush. Gary texts me. He's like, hold on. We're still on the deer. We're watching him. Stand by. Cause like they thought I hit him. Right. So they're like looking to see, like, to watch him drop or something. Yeah. And I'm like, he's like, he looks okay. And I'm like, I had already texted him. I was like, clean miss. Like I watched it sail over his back. I found my arrow, not a drop of blood on it, like super clean miss. So then I'm like, all right, I botched that. Like that's all there was to it. I completely botched that. But I was at 40 yards, perfect stock. Could see him. I was just waiting for him to stand up. It was almost just like last year's, right, where I was just like sitting there waiting for him to stand and then drilled him. But yeah, so I went down to the flat after I missed, and I was like walking around. He walked over, that guy walked over to me and was like, dude, that was awesome. I was like, yeah, I missed. But
awesome miss.
He's like, yeah, but like, it was close. Yeah. Yeah. So he was really cool. And then he drove me around to like the top of the hill, basically.
Oh, cool.
Get up there. But then I got up there.
Hold on one second. I just thought about something. Stand by.
Do you think they have these technical difficulties on Bill's podcast?
No. I did it.
What? Did you not record?
No, I'm recording.
No.
I'm just adjusting the light. I don't want it to be too bright. Oh, that's way better. Let's start the podcast over.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
God, would you figure this shit out already?
Working on it. All these changes.
I blame Bill. You got the lighting thing up in your brain, and now that's all you think about. You don't even think about me anymore.
I don't think about you at all, ever.
Shut up, Henry. Someone must have thought about walking in front of your house.
Dude, yes.
This couldn't wait?
No, because I got to fix it. Oh my gosh, I am still shitty at this. Bam! All right, sorry. Okay, so he drove you around the hill.
Yeah, so he drove me around to like where like basically like where you start hiking up to the top of the hill was. So he drops me off there. He's like, I think there's probably too many bows in this area. I'm gonna get out of here. He had other engagements apparently. Like he does like rodeo stuff. Like I said, he's like a cowboy.
Oh wow.
So like he was like that Gary ended up telling me this. He was like, oh yeah, he's got to go do some rodeo stuff this week or this evening. So I was like, well, that makes sense then. So he just kind of like came in for like a short hunt and see if he could find something.
Does he like rope and stuff? What does he do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, cool. All right, cool. So anyways, I walk up to the top of the hill and Gary's like, dude, you got to watch this video. And I'm like, I know. I do. But it also feels like, after a tournament and you lose and you like filmed it.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't really want to watch it.
Yeah. Thanks for showing me everything I fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like this in this case, it was kind of like I did everything right. Like there's literally like nothing I could have changed to have made this like any better or like to have changed the scenario. Like even if we rewound the tape and like redid it all over again, it still would have happened. The deer ducked my arrow. So like and at 40 yards, that's a very jumpy deer.
Yeah.
And turns out, so before we even went on, before I even put a stock on this deer, Gary had told me earlier that week or the week before, his buddy Jake, the other guy that was with me last year, tried to shoot the same deer and he ducked his arrow. Wow. Yeah, his shot was a little farther, so it makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
But like, so he's showing me this video. He's like, if you look at it at like full speed, it looks like you just missed. But he's like, when you slow it down frame by frame, you can watch like boom, boom. He fucking hits the dirt. Like it's like he went from like standing to like basically full lay down right as my arrow would have hit him.
Almost like axis deer would just curl
like,
their legs up.
Right.
Yeah.
Just completely hit the dirt and then hits the dirt and springs off. Right.
Wow.
But like you can watch like right as my arrow's coming in, his back just drops a whole foot.
Oh, wow.
And the arrow just sails right over his back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like, there's nothing I could, like, you would never like look at a deer and be like, I'm going to aim under its belly.
Yep. Yeah.
You would never do that because then he wouldn't even duck.
Yeah.
That would be the time that they don't duck.
It would go right under him.
Yeah. So like, that would just be stupid.
Yeah.
But like, he's just apparently like just this one switched on deer that likes ducking arrows.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel better because I'm like, oh, I just made a really shitty shot.
Right.
Because it was a clean miss. I've never clean missed a deer.
Right.
Right. Like that. So it's like, damn. But then he shows me the video and I'm like, okay. He's a ninja.
He is a ninja.
That's
why he's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother, Al, just killed a 10-point whitetail in Texas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, not just, he killed it last week.
Tree stand?
It's tree stand. They wouldn't lower themselves. They're in houses. They're in houses. They're like in big deer blinds. And the Texas whitetail is the easiest deer to kill because they don't get spooked.
Yeah.
They get shot at all the time. And they're like, oh, fuck. It's like growing up in a shit neighborhood. You don't even hear the gunshots anymore.
You watch TV on the floor, but
yeah. So, so, I mean, they're literally just killing pets.
Yeah.
They're just killing pets.
Well, a lot of them have like you hunt off of feeders.
Yeah. Oh Texas. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're on feeders and they're fucking
You can't bait out in Arizona.
No. Yeah. So it's not a tree stand. It's a blind. It's like vertical ladder into a house.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen those for sure.
Yeah. So but he and a group of guys pay on a lease, for the year, and they do all of their stuff, mainly like, it's not like they go out. I don't know that they go out for like dove and stuff. I think maybe they go somewhere else, but like they work on that lease like all year. They'll take some time off,
like planting like food plots and stuff.
Yeah, working on feeders. No, they don't go that far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all working on feeders, working on blinds, making sure camp is good for the following year.
Okay.
They take some time off. They come back like April. You know what I mean? And
like after all of the hunting season's over.
Yeah, maybe they'll kill hogs. Maybe if it's like they're not out there like actively pursuing them, but if one happens to stumble around, they'll
like,
shoot it. Yeah, they'll shoot it. But yeah, so I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's kind of like man caving.
Yeah.
They get a couple months of that. So
hanging out with your bros.
Hanging out with your bros. Yep. Drinking a lot of beer. They drink a lot of beer. They drink a lot of beer.
As you do.
Yeah. So, no, good on him, man. He got a good one this year.
Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, what is this? 3-4 days into the season, I'm like, I've put multiple stocks on deer. So yesterday was the only day that I didn't see a buck.
Yeah.
So far.
Do you feel like the deer population's growing in Arizona?
No.
Really?
If anything, it's definitely going down. At least in the areas that I've been. This year is super drought.
Yeah, dude. We haven't, other than maybe 1 week, we haven't had a whole lot of rain, at least in the valley.
We were talking to somebody who said that where does he live? I can't remember. Somewhere up north, not up north, but like northern Phoenix area. He said his area hasn't had rain since March.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I was thinking about it. I was like, no shit. We have not, we didn't have a monsoon season.
We did not at all.
At all.
I would know because the roof in my academy leaks.
Yeah. I mean,
in
it
5
was
spots.
A dry year.
Yeah.
So yeah, the populations are down. I've seen like the area that I used to hunt in 22, like I used to be able to go out there any day. I would go out there and I would see shootable bucks. I went out there Friday and there was a little fork and a tiny little like 3x3 or 2x3. And I was like, I'm not going to waste my time with these. Like they're small little baby deer. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know what happened, at least out there. Also, like, I think there might be some management issues as far as like how AZ Game and Fish. Like, I also think like by time the archery season hits, like the rifle season has decimated the area. So I feel like they need to probably lower the number. Well, one, I think they should get rid of the velvet hunts. A lot of people like hunting velvet deer. Sorry, we don't have the population for it. If you're,
you know what, go out of state, and do it there. We just don't have the population.
Yeah, and then they need to cut those rifle tags in half.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's just rifle hunting is, in my opinion, basically a gimme. If you find deer, you're going to kill deer.
Yeah. Especially if you're within 100 yards, no problem.
That's easy.
Yeah,
or honestly, like a lot of people like take shots they shouldn't be taking, but I think a lot of people will shoot 500 yards with a rifle.
Okay.
With a good rifle this year, these days, it's like, it's easy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I do it. My rifle shoots really, really well though. Not saying that everyone's rifle, like everyone puts that money into their rifles, but like
I don't. Mine's got to be in with like I wouldn't trust mine outside of 200.
Yeah.
200 I'm dialed in, but I don't have, like, my scope is cheap. I mean, it's a cheap scope. I've always preferred to shoot iron sights ever since, I was in the military. We didn't have like optics for the job that I did. Right. You know what I mean? We didn't have that. We weren't like special in any way.
Right.
But so I just got used to shooting iron sights. I shot M14s, M16s, A1s, A2s, A3s.
The little handle sight.
Yeah, right on the handle. Yeah, optics is like not new to me because I've shot with through a scope before.
Yeah, but
nothing like nothing fantastic, nothing that I would trust outside of 200 yards. So it's just something I'm used to. Yeah. And I've got a Remington Model 700 just like everybody else does. And
even if they think they don't, it's probably modeled after one.
It very well may be.
I have a Bergara and it's a Remington 700 action.
Yeah,
just like every other good rifle.
Just like every other good rifle. And I've always been a fan of the Remington, I guess the Model 700, but I also like the shotgun, the 870. I love that shotgun. I own 2 of them now. I think I gave you one. I used to own 3, and what I love about it is like the the design hasn't changed in 50 years.
It's like AR-15, just a standard AR-15,
Yep.
870s, Remington 700, Ruger 20. What is it? 1022.
Yeah, the old 1022. Yeah.
Personally, I think the 1022 is a piece of shit.
It is, but dude, tried and true.
When it feeds, yeah.
Well, when you clean it, it'll feed.
I clean the shit out of my stuff.
Listen,
I had to replace go online.
Listen,
the 1022 is a piece of junk.
Your dogs shed.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
They do.
There's dog hair in everything.
My rifle's in a case because I'm an adult. But no, like the 870 it's a perfect shotgun.
It's a perfect shotgun.
There is nothing wrong with the 870.
No.
Remington 700 that is a tried and true action.
Yeah, and my limitation is my scope, and I know it. And
I think most people's limitations. It's funny because like people will build like $1,000 or $2,000 rifle, and then they'll put like a $300 piece of glass on it.
A $300, yeah. My brother Mike and I he hunts a lot.
Yeah,
and he still shoots like 20 caliber stuff, like 270s, shit like that, 22, 250s.
Yeah.
But if he puts $1,000 into a rifle, he'll put $1,000 into a scope.
Yeah.
It's like a 1-to-1 ratio with him.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends, too, what you're trying to do. If you're trying to make a hunting rifle, yeah, there's an argument for that. You don't really need to put all that money into it because, like, what you're trying to shoot is a pie plate, right?
Yep.
So you don't need, like, this tiny, like, half-inch group at 100 yards, right?
You obviously have not hunted a deer lease in Texas because it's just a dick measuring contest. That's all it is. They're shooting pets at 40 yards, and they have $2,000 sitting in that blind with them. And oh, by the way, they're wearing camouflage.
Which, if you're sitting in a box blind, you should be wearing black.
Yes. Yeah. Or dude, you can wear
you're wearing box blind camo.
You could wear whatever the hell you want in there. I mean, it's like just bundle up. Bring your woobies. Bring blankets, bring slippers.
Oh, I've seen those like people hunting in like the middle of the winter time, and they're just wrapped up and bundled up, and they're with like a floor heater.
Dude, those Midwest psychos, they will hunt, and it's like 20 below.
Dude, they have jumpsuits that are like electronic that have like heaters in them. Yeah. They just heat your whole body up.
Yeah. What
that.
It's kind of like once you get to that point, it's like you could die out there if that heater fails.
Yeah. You know, freeze to death.
And you're out of shape and you can't get your fat ass out of that fucking blind or that tree stand in time. You're probably going to be in really bad shape if you get out of the tree stand.
But the plus is that fat guy he's retaining a lot of heat.
He is retaining a lot of heat. Yeah. And he is going to be very difficult to get out of that tree stand.
Yep. I'd be like, leave him.
Just let him rot.
The raccoons will get him. They'll feast.
Crows got to eat too. You think squirrels eat would eat like people if they died?
I don't know that I've ever seen like, because you've seen like videos where like a horse will like eat a little chicken or something, like a chick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just gulp.
Yeah. Just like one bite, just eats it. It's like they're kind of opportunistic carnivores, right? But I don't know if
I've seen a squirrel eating the tongue out of a dead squirrel. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Huntington Beach.
Where you would see something like that.
Yeah. So Huntington Beach, I went, down the pier and then I, grabbed my coffee and then I walked down the beach and I'm like, man, look at all these people just chilling on the beach, man. That's cool. Like, it's cool. Like, and I was like, oh, they're all homeless. and there's like a family of 4 pretending that the homeless guy didn't just shit 10 feet from their, from them and bury it before they got there. But anyway, so that's Huntington Beach. But anyway, so I walk up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to walk all the way down the beach. And then I'm going to walk, when the houses end, I'll walk up and I'll call my Uber.
Yeah.
Man, I got halfway up. My legs were killing me. I was like, God, screw this, man.
Walking in the sand.
Yeah. So I walked back to, there's like a sidewalk and a bike trail.
Yep.
So, or bike trail sidewalk. That's what it was. Bike trail sidewalk. So I'm walking on the sidewalk and it's like a row of palm trees and there's gaps in there. So there's steps, and at each one of those rows where before the gaps, in between the gaps, there's like, there's grass and sand and there's holes where the squirrels are burrowed. Yeah. Like they're ground squirrels, but they're big, man. They're big, red, red and black. They're beautiful.
They eat the homeless people.
Dude, they must, bro. So, So I'm walking and I see this family going, these little kids are screaming. There's a dead squirrel and there's another squirrel like on the tongue and just yanking, trying to bite that tongue off.
Pull his tongue out so you can eat it.
And these poor kids are traumatized. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking Mother Nature right there.
Jesus.
So I'm thinking, like, I don't know if a Huntington Beach squirrel will eat another squirrel. Maybe they'll eat people too. I mean, if you're dead long enough.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure they would, but I mean, there's so many things in the forest that are going to get you way before that squirrel.
Yeah.
That squirrel's going to be like, I'm out of here after like the carrion crows and shit are getting.
But if you die up in a tree stand, the crows would eat very well.
Yes, they would.
Maybe a bear could get to you.
Are there bears out there?
In Midwest?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there were a lot.
I guess it makes sense that there's bears in New Jersey.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any states where there are no bears.
Well, I'm convinced there's none in Arizona.
There's a bear season for you idiots that want to buy a tag.
All you fucking liars. There's no fucking bears here. I've been trying forever. I've never even seen a bear in the wild in Arizona.
I haven't either. I saw a bunch when I was living in Pennsylvania. They were just big fat black bears.
What was it? There's like the statistic that like New Jersey has more bears per capita than any other state in the United States.
Dude, outside of the city of New Jersey, that whole area, Jersey's a beautiful state.
Yeah.
It's like just farm country and, it's really, really nice.
Do the people that live in New Jersey go to that farm country?
I guess. I don't know.
That's the downside right there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, New Jersey's a beautiful.
A lot of times they move to Austin and then have really shitty online presences.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah. So I'm pretty sure anything would eat a human if you died in the tree.
I guess if you're there long enough.
They're like, oh, you got to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely raccoons.
Oh yeah. Oh, raccoons will tear you up, man.
Yeah. They might even like take a nap inside your stomach.
I can just picture a raccoon trying to fix the heater that the guy broke and died from.
And he's doing his little, because their hands don't really fold, but I could see him like rubbing his hands together.
Oh my God. This is going off the rails. Let's talk some jiu-jitsu.
I haven't even done jiu-jitsu. Well, I went to Nogi and I poked you in the eye.
You punched me in the eye.
You're welcome.
You stuck your finger in my eye. And
my
then
knuckle.
And then Devin tried to kill me with his head.
Head butted you with his head?
Yeah, well, that happened first, and then you punched me in the face.
Yeah, well, his headbutt was not my fault. They did sneak up on me.
I will tell you this, Friday, when I was teaching, like, I was a little woozy.
Were you?
Yeah, I couldn't get the words out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got hit hard again.
Yeah. I'm definitely concussed.
I wasn't responsible for that one.
Not the head thing. I mean, but it was like...
But didn't you get dinged again later in the head?
Yeah. And then...
It's like when you bite your lip or your tongue.
Dude,
you just keep doing it.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. You ever bit your tongue where it's like a horseshoe? You bite the tip all the way around?
No, I always bite the side. I always bite the side, and then like everything you eat burns.
Yep. Yeah. That's just like when I was rolling with Mike Kaplan, owner of North Star BJJ. Shout out to them.
Shout out.
But he kicked me in the face one time, and like you don't think about mouth guards until you get kicked in the jaw. You're like, man, I should really get one. I haven't got one.
Yeah,
but
me either.
Dude, he kicked me. I thought my eardrums exploded. I definitely bit the shit out of my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you almost forget about it until you eat something.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And then you talk about this.
And he goes, fuck's the matter? I bit my tongue. Leave me alone.
Thought me funny.
Yeah.
That the mouth guard thing. I've never like from getting kicked. I've never like been like, oh yeah, I need this. But like I've had someone like try to rear naked face crank at me.
Yeah.
And it's just like happened to be like right over my teeth to the point where I'm like, he might crush my teeth.
Yeah.
I don't know that a mouth guard would help, but
yeah. Well, like when I roll with Carlos, it doesn't matter what position we're in. He just cranks my head.
Mm-hmm.
He just figure fours his arms and he squeezes my head and like my head starts changing shape and I'm like,
is he trying to mother's milk you?
Yeah, basically yes.
Freaking ultra heavies,
bro. He's got some girth to him, and he was actually asking today. He's like, I haven't had a podcast in like 3 weeks. I'm like, we're working on it. We're changing the studio.
Yeah, relax, bud.
Yeah, but
have some patience. Go rewatch all the Tojo ones.
Oh my God. Yeah. So so open mat was, I talked to Ramsey a little bit about training with him. And my schedule is so crazy that like I told him like I'm gonna have to be late for your class. And if you're not okay with that, like I get it. I told him I don't want to disrespect your class. But I can't skip physical therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you talking about making his 10 a.m.?
Yeah. Because it's just difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to make that time slot. But I mean, he was cool with it, so definitely want to.
He's pretty like flexible when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't want to be the guy like.
I mean, asking is the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I told him like I don't want him to think. I don't want like the class to think. Well, if a black belt can show up late, so can I.
Right.
You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. He goes, I'll let them know that, you know, whatever. Yeah. But yes, because like I said before, man, I realized like I need a coach. Like I watch my only fight at Nogi Worlds, and I'm like, a lot of the mistakes I made could have been, you know, seen before.
Stuff that was highlighted prior.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I talked to him about that, and he was like, yeah, man, for a long time, that's pretty much, you know, how he was, especially like he had his school in Tucson, and he didn't have a lot, you know, he only had white belts. So he would go into tournaments and he wasn't like as prepared as he could have been had he had a coach. So
that's like the primary thing that I like think about, like when not that I have any aspirations of opening a school, but I'm like, if you open a school, your students are really the only people you get to train with now.
That's it.
And when you're a new school, they're almost all white belts.
Almost all. And then, you know, you get some transplants, some guys that, you know, that moved in the area or, you know, from out of state or whatever. And some people that like live in the area that were driving across town to go to train.
Right.
So they'll come over. But I mean, for the most part, training partners are white belts.
But even if you have like established classes, like being the instructor, you're the first one to sit out.
Correct. Yep. You have to. If you have an even number and you're still training, that's kind of a dick move.
Where you're like, hey, Tim, you have to sit out or whatever. You know, you can't do that because they're the paying customer.
Right. Exactly. And, you know, I also find like the harder I make the class, like if I make like a really tough, you know, situational, you know, pushing really hard, you know, drill class, it gets a little lighter on the color belt side.
Because they're lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, which is cool. I mean, it's fine, you know, and, you know, I kind of enjoy sometimes, like, you know, I shouldn't say it like that, but it's kind of cool when you can just like focus on your white belts a little bit, you know, especially like during the holidays, they were the only ones showing up.
Yeah.
My white belts, they showed up big on the holidays.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the whole, like, you know, blue belts disappear thing. That's true almost to every belt after white belt, right?
Yeah.
Because the white belts are, it's honeymoon phase, really.
Yeah.
Right? They're all like super excited. It's like a new thing. Like that's why they're the majority.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm enjoying seeing their progress, man. I really enjoy seeing it. It's, you know, when they're making they're still making mistakes, but it's kind of the right mistakes. You know what I mean? It's not stupid ones.
Well, we talked about like when you kind of like, we'll feed them like an opportunity and they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
They're finally like seeing it.
That's always a gratifying time when
now I have to turn it up on you.
Yeah. Oh, you passed my guard. Congratulations. Now you're gonna die.
Prepare to die. You killed my father.
Prepare to die. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah. So this year, we're going into a phase where, you know, like early last year, we mapped out like 4 months of training. We mapped it all out, and we had a lot of success then. I think the classes were flowing better because people could kind of prepare. Yeah. And I feel like I let my foot off the gas a little bit and just kind of, I don't want to say winged it, but I was like, oh, we should work on this or we should work on that.
Phoning it in a little bit.
Yeah. So I think, you know, obviously, you know, we learn a lot from tournaments, but I think I relied too much on memory, which is a bad idea for me.
Yeah.
I think I need to record a little bit more, study a little bit more, see where we're making mistakes, and kind of build the second quarter curriculum based on that, you know? So do first quarter, get that dialed in, then hit second quarter with a different curriculum. I'm also thinking about changing the Fundies curriculum.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've been running that same Fundies curriculum for almost 5 years. So
is there something that you're seeing that you're deficient in is that what you're trying to address or?
No, I just think I'd like to shake it up a little bit.
Here's something to consider. You're shaking it up for you, not for your students, because it's brand new stuff to everyone.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, a lot of it is going to stay.
Yeah.
There's some things that are just super fundamental. I'm just thinking, like, I was looking at the Aries curriculum that they put out, and I kind of like how they do it,
I like the stuff that's on there. I think it's in the wrong order.
Well, but that's the beauty of it. You can put it in any order you want.
Sure.
But yeah, so we changed ours to be like flowy.
Yeah.
So I think we got that dialed in. So what do you do when you dial things in?
You fuck it up.
Change it. You got to change it.
Well, it's like when you were talking about how Carlos wanted to teach De La Riva passing, and you're like, are you prepared to teach De La Riva?
He was like, fuck.
It's like, they don't know De La Riva.
No.
I just spent a couple weeks doing Spider Lasso because I want, with the intention of teaching passing Spider Lasso.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple of my students are getting stuck there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why people play Spider Lasso. It's a good position to tie someone up.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to make sure, because like I have newer people and I have people that aren't newer that just don't play that game.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to make sure that everyone is like aware of this position. And now let's talk about passing it.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I mean, you guys are doing great stuff. Like Justin and Sierra are doing an awesome job with the kids class. It always seems to be packed and
phenomenal.
They pay attention. It seems like the way that Justin's the head kids coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like the way that he manages the kids and disciplines them when they need it is it's constructive. It's not like a punishment. It's more like, hey, if you guys are gonna do this, you're gonna do sit-ups or push-ups or whatever. Yeah. And which is ultimately a good thing, right? It's you have to do more working out.
And that's kind of why, like, I wanted to bring some levity to that at the Christmas party.
Uh-huh.
So I had a imitate Coach Justin contest.
That was really cute.
Oh my gosh! Stop talking. They're all.
Although it is funny because like all like the little teen girls were like putting little mustaches on,
little beards on.
Abby and what's Jerry's kid? What's Jerry's daughter's name?
No, that wasn't. You're talking about Harlow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Harlow isn't Jerry's daughter. Looks like her. She looks like Layla.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Harlow. Oh my gosh,
so cute. It's just
so
like
funny.
Little drawn on beards.
They were so nervous, and then we had the little guy Jude with the afro wig.
Yeah,
that was good.
But and then also you guys just started your first women's class, which was huge,
dude. It was, every time like. I just have to like press play, man, whatever you want to call it, pull the trigger, press play, whatever.
Yeah.
And it just seems like I'm wrong a lot, which is in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, the last time we did a women's class, it wasn't very well attended, blah, blah, blah. Man, I really think this is going to take off.
But you put it in a good slot.
A good time slot. Yeah. And I think, something happened, which is exactly what I would hope would happen. Mm-hmm. So these two brand new white belt women signed up. They're super excited, but they're nervous as hell.
Yep.
And when the class starts, they bowed in and then they ran to each other to train together, right? So Amy and Carrie are like, you come here. So they split them up.
They got adopted, yeah.
Yeah, they split them up. And then, understandably, a new person training with a higher belt is going to be like, oh man, I'm kind of holding you back. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, no, they almost feel like
they're taking away from you.
Yeah, they're not, right? So Amy assured her that she wasn't. That's what we're here for. We're here to help out.
Yeah.
And at the end of class, they were like, oh, you weren't that scary to train with, which is cool. That's really cool.
And that's kind of like the point of the women's class is to show that it's not actually that scary.
It's not that scary. Yeah. My hope is that, that kind of springboards them to, taking different classes.
Ideally, right? Yeah. They graduate out of, or feeling more comfortable enough to like, spread their wings.
Yeah. So I had one, so one of them, both of her twin daughters train, her husband trains. And she was super excited about the women's class.
Right.
But she comes in, she goes, wait, it's gi? I'm like, yeah. She goes, do I have to wear one? I'm like, yeah, it's a gi class. I said, but there's a no-gi class right after that you can stay for. She's like, really? She was all excited.
Oh, she wanted no-gi. Huh?
Yeah, so she didn't stay because she probably exerted herself a little bit more than she thought she would. You know, day one. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's hard. So, but my coach Neva is awesome, super charismatic, and she's a beast to train with, man.
I love Neva.
Beast.
She's great.
She's awesome
and the nicest person in the world.
Super nice. And you know what happened? Like, I moved the 6 p.m. no-gi time slot to 7 to accommodate the women on Tuesday and Thursday. Well, Neva's husband wasn't training because he couldn't make 6 o'clock.
Yeah, now he can.
Now he can make the 7. Yeah. So I got them both back. So that was really cool.
That gimpy motherfucker.
Yeah, and Neva's like super excited, and man, she had really good energy.
Oh, it was great. I came a little early because I wanted to see how Neva taught. So I was like, oh, she's actually doing really good.
She's good.
She's doing a great job.
Good. Yeah. So Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. women's only is the I think that's where we're going to see some growth in the academy, which is cool. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a more well-attended women's class.
No, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So I'm excited. And then we had a lot of our regulars that were like out of town or doing other shit, so I think we're going to see a bigger.
Hopefully it keeps that momentum. I hope it does.
Yeah, I hope so too. And everything ebbs and flows, man. Like we used to have 50 in the 7 p.m. class. Now we have like 15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, if you can have a class like that with that attendance the day after New Year's.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, people like, oh, I need to take the whole year off.
It's New Year's year.
Yeah. Right? It's like, it's kind of like has everything, going against it, holiday week, whatever. And it still was really well attended. So
yeah, I think some of the things that I did this year, I made some really good notes and I put them in my calendar. Mm-hmm. So I'm like reminders the month before, like Halloween.
Yeah.
No classes after 4 o'clock.
Right.
It just does not, they're so poorly attended. We're just doing open mat, close a little early so everybody can get out and give away candy.
Yep.
But, things like that. Like I think I did one too many open mats after Christmas. I should have done regular schedule.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday should have been regular schedule. I think, I was kind of eager, honestly, like this is going to sound weird, but I've never closed for more than a day.
Right.
Ever. So I was like, oh, maybe we'll do 2, maybe we'll do 2 in an open mat. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. So I just wanted to experiment a little bit. I don't think it went over well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so Paul kind of had like the same issue too, where he was like, those morning or midday open mats don't really work on those like pseudo holidays,
right?
Like Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. They're kind of holidays.
They're not,
but they're not. Like I had to work on both of those days.
Everybody's working. Yeah. So like Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, regular schedule.
Yeah.
Close the next day, open mat the following day.
Well, I mean, even if you don't want to have a regular schedule, you just put the open mat in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah. Because then you still like don't have like it's a little more informal and kind of makes it feel like kind of a holiday, right? Yeah. Still like you're just coming to have fun and train or whatever, but put it in a time slot where everyone can actually make it if they're like still already working. Like I was like, fuck, I had to take an hour off to go. Had to twist my arm.
I didn't want to, but I was forced to take an hour off.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I think things like that, like honestly, there were never lessons learned because I just refused to close.
Right.
I just wanted to stay open all the time because I don't know. I just have this like feeling like, if I'm going to over deliver, then fucking over deliver.
Well, did you think you were going to like lose momentum if you like took 2 days off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though that's not how it works.
It's hard, man. You don't understand. Like if I leave town for a day, I come back, I'm a fucking disaster because I just got out of my routine.
Yeah.
So I have this fear that like everybody's that way, which they're not. So I don't know. That's why I'm kind of.
I hated this last 2 weeks.
Me too, man.
The schedules.
It was awful.
I'm like every day I had to like check the schedules and like,
are we open?
Are we doing open mat? What are we doing again?
Dude, I even screwed my schedule up. You know what I mean? Like so
it was just annoying. I'm just like happy to be back at like normal schedule.
Normal schedule's good.
Yeah. Business as usual.
Yeah.
Be back to get get, regular training schedule. You know when you need to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like, and like you said, pseudo holidays, Halloween, those types of things, you gotta make sure that you're
planning accordingly.
Yeah. You gotta plan those out. And, I want to give like my students as much time to figure out their schedules as possible. Mm-hmm. But honestly, you can give them too much time. So if you're planning for Christmas and it's October,
yeah,
no one's going to remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
2 week notice.
2 week notice is plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty. I usually try to do 30 days, but dude, there's no perfect way to communicate with your student body. Like,
sure, yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't check my emails, or they give you a bullshit email.
Yeah.
So they never get them. You know what I mean? I send emails, I send text, I put it on Instagram, Facebook. I don't know how else, I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to call everybody individually.
Have Mike Tyson do the messenger pigeons.
Ooh, yeah, I'll do that.
Have them come shit on their car.
Can you shit a message on somebody's windshield for me? Yeah, man. So but that's a hard thing. Like I've had people like flat out tell me I didn't get that email. I was like, oh, let me verify your email.
Check?
No, I'll just say, let me verify your email. Oh, I don't check that one.
Then why'd you give it to me?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So we found the root of the problem.
Well, it's like it's so silly to me because it's like, do you think I'm just gonna spam you? Like,
right? Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna give me a burner email?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm selling your information right now. And then they give you the right one, and then you sell it. Be like,
sucker.
Now you deserve this.
Yep.
You deserve
I did that on purpose. I sold your shit on purpose. Yeah, man.
What's the going rate?
I don't know.
It's probably like 5 cents.
Perfect. 5 cents a person. That's fine. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, a lot of lessons learned. But yeah, I was just thinking about that today. The open mats and seeing so many people from different schools training together. I think that's really cool.
It's great.
I enjoy that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it like just builds the community.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it before about how like jiu-jitsu's networking. Like maybe you don't have a good, I don't know, dentist at your school.
Yeah.
But maybe they do at the school down the street and they come in and you're like, oh, I know a guy that's a good dentist or whatever.
Dude, how do you think Amy got her job?
How?
It was jiu-jitsu. It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, we were sitting at, I think it was an open mat, and she was just talking about how much, where she worked at was not great. Mm-hmm. And then Marcos.
Who?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him. He doesn't show up to class anymore.
Well, he showed up. He was going strong for like a week. He showed up for a week.
He was out Christmas week, New Year's week. Like, he's like, oh, I've been sick for 2 fucking weeks. Don't lie to me. You were sick for maybe a week.
He was sick twice.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but Marcos was like, hey, man, he worked for a company that was looking for people, and she still has that job today.
Yeah.
So
it's nice when you like, or if you like, even if it's not like a job or like you need like a service of some sort, like maybe you need to borrow a drill. Mm-hmm. You can just shoot it in the group chat. Be like, hey, does anybody have a power drill I can borrow? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, like, I told you about Jeremy Spitzer. Let me use his.
Stay away from him. Don't talk to him.
The creeper. No, I'm just kidding. No, Jeremy was. I was like, hey, does anybody have a trailer that I can use? He's like, yeah, man, I got an 18-footer.
You're like smaller.
Yeah. Well, not only did he let me borrow his trailer, like it had a flat, expired plates and everything. He got it all fixed up in time for me to get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. I mean,
yeah, everyone's like, not everyone, but a lot of people are willing to like hook people up because of the community, like because we're part of this like jiu-jitsu community.
Yeah. And Dave Blau, when I was opening my academy, holy crap, dude, he came through so big because he's got a flat trailer and we were moving a lot of shit.
I remember, moving
a lot of shit, and he was so helpful. And then there were times when I'd hit him up and like, hey, I know it's short notice. I'm sorry. He's like, go get it. You just let me go hook it up.
Yeah, take
it with me. So.
He's like, don't mind the mess.
Don't mind the attack dogs, all the attack dogs. But yeah, so no, it's a beautiful thing, man. And who knows? I mean, it's such a small community that you never know when you're going to need somebody.
Right.
So
yep. And
cool.
A lot of people are willing to help, which makes it even cooler. It's weird because it's like people you wouldn't like normally like trust. Like you don't like. I never really want to like reach out to my Facebook friends, quote unquote, where it's just like people you kind of have run into over the years. You're not really friends with them. Mm-hmm. But in the jiu-jitsu community, you're kind of like, even if you are just an acquaintance with somebody, you're a little more willing to like, ask them for service, a service or something like that, and they're more willing to like just hand it out too.
Yeah, well, and think about when we leave town and we go to Vegas. It's almost like a family reunion. Yeah. You see people you haven't seen in a long time, guys you competed against,
or even people who've just come in for like we went to Honey Badgers.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He's a cool dude and good school.
Yep. The
really
Academy
cool school.
The Academy of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in what was the name of the town?
Summerlin.
Yeah. Summerlin, Nevada.
Yep.
Just outside of Vegas.
Yeah, just on the nice side of Vegas.
Very nice area.
Well, I mean, everywhere is nicer than Vegas. It's like Summerlin's nice, Henderson's nice, Vegas is a shithole.
Vegas is awful.
Yeah. But yeah, that was great. We needed a place to train, and he was like, "Come on in,
yeah." Yeah. So the highlight of Vegas this past time was Fogo de Chao. We ate way too much food.
The bartender hooked us up.
Could you please screw up another drink? Slides one in front of my face. Yeah,
that was so funny.
Yeah. What did he say? Do you guys like tequila? Like, excuse me?
Sure. Doesn't everybody?
Yeah. So, and then we walked. I remember we walked to Caesar's Palace. We walked through the casino, out the lobby. All right, you guys done?
I'm like, what are we doing?
That was it, man.
None of us. It was like 9:00.
I don't give a shit.
None of
Vegas,
us gave a
dude.
shit. I'm like, let's just go watch a movie in the house and chill. Like,
it was. The Airbnb was a little cold.
Cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably because you spent a lot of time in the cold ass pool.
Hey, man, I got to get my plunge in.
I guess.
Got to get the plunge. Dude, you got to do it, man. You got to do it.
You know what?
It feels so good.
I don't.
You totally do. You got to get that plunge in, man.
Maybe when Esporta.
It's so funny. It's so funny. We would wake up and you're like, did you get in the pool yet? No, fucking not yet.
You're not going to do it, are you, pussy?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I want to go watch you suffer.
It's not that bad.
Okay. You look pretty miserable to me. But.
No, it's not that bad. Well, I mean, like when I do it here, I don't want to say it's easier because it's still like mentally like, but I do a hot tub before I get in the pool, so it's kind of nice. There is this raw dog. Like I had nothing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no. All I got is a pool, so
I've been using the shit out of my hot tub.
Yeah.
Just like, well, I've just been like hiking and hiking and hiking. I'm like, the only way I'm gonna make this work is if I like let these muscles relax.
You have to, yeah. I've been doing like hot tub, then the cold plunge in the pool, and then I do like a 30-minute sauna. After.
Have you checked the temp in your pool?
Yeah, it's just below 50.
Oh, cool. So it is in the 40s.
Yeah, it's like 48, 47, somewhere in there.
I probably asked you the same question last week.
No, I mean, well, last time it was in it was 50.
Oh,
yeah. So it's on like the high end.
Next time we pod, I'll ask you again. That'll be every pod. I'll ask you.
Every pod. Yeah, and it's just gonna go up from here, man. Like once you hit February. Or,
it's a chilly 95 right now.
Yeah. So So then I gotta change things up and make sure that I get out to Unfair Advantage with my buddy Wadis Cooper.
EOS has them now.
Yeah, the one over by the Academy has one.
Mm-hmm. I think they're all kind of like moving that way, and they also have the what's it called? They're like little influencer zone or whatever.
What?
Yeah, have you seen like Sierra's videos where it has like the neon sign in the background and everything? It's like a particular area that's like made for like influencers.
Ugh.
Yeah, but it's good. It keeps them out of like the regular area.
I thought things couldn't get any stupider.
Yeah, well. A lot of people make money off of the internet now.
Yeah, that's true.
You just called Sierra stupid, I'm telling you.
Oh, I did not. I said the world is getting stupider. Yeah. Sierra, you're not stupid.
But Sierra, you're part of the world.
The influencer zone.
Yeah, I don't know what I think it's called. Something like so. Remember the EOS that we went to in Summerlin?
Yeah,
that's what that how that whole area by the saunas were all like blocked off. That's what they were putting in there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, one of the other guys told me about that. I was like, oh.
That's interesting.
Lame.
Yeah.
They need to make EOS. I don't know why, for whatever reason, because they're not. All right, here's what I'm trying to say. EOS is fucking always busy.
Yeah.
To the point where like unless you go at like Sierra, like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Or like 11 o'clock at night, it's almost too busy to get whatever workout you really want to get in. or you're going to be waiting.
Yeah. You know, I always focus on like doing like the shitty things that no one wants to do.
Sure.
You know, like, like you're probably not going to get the sled because there's going to be some asshole using the sled, but I bet there's nobody on a pull-up bar.
So my thought about that is I can do a pull-up at my house.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You ain't got a bar at your house.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You're a fucking liar.
I have 100 pulls in my house.
You're a fucking liar. No, I'm serious. Like when it's packed, I'll do like a, you know, I call it my jailhouse workout. You know, just a bunch of like body squats, pull-ups, push-ups, bar dips.
That's my thing. It's like that is stuff that you could like set up at your house for really cheap.
You could, but you probably wouldn't use it.
100%.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I'm not going to go fucking do push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups I'm not going to go pay to do that because I can do that at my house.
Right.
Or go to like the jungle gym at the park. Like you can do all of that stuff. Like I want to use like the real weightlifting equipment, but it's always like you'll have some guy doing fucking like wrist curls at the squat rack. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
I like throwing medicine balls around.
Yeah, that's fun.
I like doing that shit.
I like that stuff too.
Yeah, so that gets a heart rate up, shit like that.
That's all like kind of like auxiliary stuff, you know. Like I like doing the core stuff, and it's always busy.
That's everybody's going to be doing that, you know, chest and tries, back and buys bullshit.
It's that $10 membership that they have. Like where the $10 membership, which they don't tell you in the little card, is like only for that one location. You have to pick a location. If you want to have like the one where you can go anywhere, like you have, it's like what 30
bucks. Yeah,
which is like, oh no, that's breaking the bank.
Yeah,
it's like that's cheap. $30 a month.
Take it easy, Alex.
Yeah. Whoa, big spender over here.
Never gonna retire. But they do other stuff like if you remember the massage chairs and shit like that. That's not included in $30.
Right.
So you got to pay extra for that. They have like towel service that you can pay for also. But
well,
honestly,
I mean, they're like becoming like, have you ever gone to like a Lifetime Fitness? Yeah. They're becoming that, which is cool. But like, if you ever go to a Lifetime Fitness, it's like, have you ever been to the Mall of America?
Yeah. No, I've been to, I was a member at Lifetime.
They are huge.
Yeah.
EOS needs to start building these huge facilities if they're going to start having like all of these like big draw, like, you know, equipment kind of things like that. Cause it's just like, you have too many people to have like this tiny little, like,
well, I think what they're doing is like, if you look in the East Valley where the Academy is, there's like 3 of them within like 5 miles of each
they're
other.
everywhere.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what they're doing. They're saturating areas
and they're all busy as fuck.
Yeah. They're all busy as hell,
which is good for them. And the reality is like, they might have like 100 people that, like, I'm making up numbers, but they might have like 100 people that show up every month. They have 1,000 people that don't show up.
Yep, exactly. And that's their model.
Right.
That's the model. So I'm willing to bet their cold plunge is always available.
Yeah, because it sucks.
It sucks. It sucks. I like doing the shit that sucks, man. I can get a workout, at, you know, a Holiday Inn gym. I can do it. Yeah. You know, it's not that big a deal. And then if they have like like medicine balls, and if they have free weights, and if they have a pull-up bar, done, no problem.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I see your point. It's like there's this giant box gym, and everything's taken.
Yeah.
Everything's fucking taken. And I saw, this is gonna be awful, but I saw these girls. They were doing the sled. There was no weight on the sled.
Were they filming themselves?
They were filming their butts.
Of course they were. Do it for the gram, baby.
They were filming each other's butts on the sled. So, yeah. So they were pushing. You couldn't see the weight because there's a big butt in the way.
Yeah.
Right? But they were filming each other.
Like the one girl's like following, just like chasing her with the camera?
Yes.
And my God. You should get kicked out for that.
I couldn't help it. I just started laughing.
I guess I'm just like a curmudgeon at this point, but like, I'm just like, can you just go to the gym and fucking work out?
No. I like doing the what's that treadmill that's like a U shape?
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I know.
I like that one.
Yeah, they have one at a sport that also.
Yeah, because you can kind of control how fast, and you can sprint on that damn
Isn't
thing.
that the thing? It's like it's all self-propelled. Like there's no motor.
There's no motor.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So as you're going, like if you run in the middle of it, you can trot at a, you know, but once you start extending and getting to the end, bro, that thing starts to move.
It picks up.
Yeah, that thing starts, and then you gotta like, you try to control it, but if it's not your thing, if you haven't done it a lot, It's really hard. Next thing you know, you're sprinting. You're like, I'm
it
going
has
to die.
a leash.
I'm going to die.
It has a leash. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So you can't just
You're like
fall
a pit
off of it.
bull. You're like a pit bull running on a fucking treadmill.
Have you seen those as doggy treadmills?
Oh my God, they're fantastic.
I should get one for the girls.
Oh, they would love it.
I think they'd be afraid of it.
You think so? I could
probably teach Ripley.
I don't know. I think Hazel would be good with it. I think once she learns, like, oh, this is cool, you won't be able to get her off of that thing.
So Ripley, like when we take the dogs to the dog park, Hazel stays right around us or like runs from person to person.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Ripley just fucking runs. she's the one that like has the energy.
Yeah. What possessed you to get 2 of those things?
They're so cute.
No, they're not.
They're adorable.
They're not that cute. Not 2 dog cute.
Ripley is my little cuddle baby, and then Hazel is my neurotic pretty dog.
My neurotic pretty dog.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to see this, man. I'm sorry. You look how good
you think
that.
You fucked up the cameras.
Look how good that looks.
Look how good I look.
No, not you, idiot. That shot looks so good.
Because of the lighting?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You still got to figure out how you're going to have 3 or 4 people in here.
Easy. This is going to be gone. I got the other mic stands coming.
Are you doing another? Are you going to do a couch?
I think I'm going to do 2 more of these.
Okay.
I think that's the move.
How much were these?
Don't listen.
Tell me off air.
Yeah. You were there, asshole.
I don't remember. These are from IKEA, right?
Yeah.
I love these.
The IKEA chairs. I just put them together today.
This like faux leather is like really nice,
dude, and it's like grippy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's not like because we were sitting in a lot of leather chairs because they're easy to clean. But you're just like,
yeah. I think the hard part is honestly the hard part is going to be the microphones.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the hardest part because I got to do stand mics with the little.
You know, bar. You could run like a bar or that goes around and like have like clamps on it.
That would work
because then no matter where the seating is, you just adjust where it clamps onto the bar.
Yep, I like that. Yeah. I got to figure something out because I think for the most part 3 people is like the norm. Well, other than just you and I, right? If we have one more person, that's pretty much the norm.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to do is 4 chairs. Put that TV over there, and then we can do like the watching shit. Whatever what do they call it? I don't know. Reaction videos. Okay. But
watching shit. What do you mean?
Watching shit.
They have a word for that?
Yeah, they have a watching shit video. But we're gonna have to do different cameras because these are not great from far away. They got to be like they are now, like right on top of us.
You mean they get grainy?
They get grainy. Can't have grain. No grain. Yeah. No grain. Thank you.
Bill told us no grain a lot.
No grain. Thank you.
These cameras are keto.
They are keto.
Yeah.
They are keto. Anyway, but I think I'm excited, man. It's slower progress than I'd like. You know me.
Yeah.
But I want to do it right.
Yeah, you want to figure. I mean, you already kind of did the shotgun thing where you like just bought a bunch of shit.
Yep.
That was the first iteration.
Yep. So
I mean, the long table was the second iteration, right? Because there was a smaller table.
Yeah, we had that husky fucking.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the work table.
Yeah, from like Home Depot or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, that thing did good. That thing did.
She did her job.
She did her job. But yeah, so now it's like more loungy. I want to put some shelves up on the wall. Put some,
I think the Shiplat's going to make as like cliche and not cliche is not the right word. Overused as Shiplat is.
Fuck you, man.
It looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah, that's why it's overused.
Yeah, it's gonna look great.
Yeah,
it's gonna look great. And we can attach things to it easily.
I say we go old lady wallpaper instead.
Dude, we could do one wall
floral,
one wall with floral,
like lavender,
grandma wallpaper. We can put rubber on the fucking chairs, like the plastic.
None of you guys are brave enough to pull this off. But then we'd have to get the plastic covered chairs.
Plastic covered chairs would be a thing,
and we would drink tea.
We have to drink tea,
or at least drink out of teacups.
Right? Yeah.
Pinkies out, bitches.
Pinkies out, motherfuckers. All right, man. How long have we been going?
Long enough.
Okay. All right, everybody. If you love the podcast or if you hate the podcast, please like and subscribe. Don't forget that blue belts can do what?
Beat up everyone.
Beat up everybody. So, please comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think about the lighting. I fixed it halfway through, but let us know what you think about the studio as we build it, and we will have a shitting on the comments show pretty soon.
I mean, we should. It's New Year.
Yes. Don't forget, make sure that you are supporting our sponsors, Unfair Advantage, Control Physical Therapy out of Tempe, Arizona, and Salt Electrolytes. Go earn your salt. This episode is brought to you by BioPro Plus. BioPro Plus is the faster, easier, and safer non-synthetic alternative to painful, expensive, and invasive anti-aging hormone treatments. The growth factors in BioPro Plus have the unique ability to regulate and restart the body's natural sex hormone production, and it also assists in raising glutathione levels, improving immune response, repairing DNA, promoting enhanced protein absorption, and supporting self-differentiation and proliferation. I don't know what any of that means, but I can tell you this. I've been using this stuff for about a year, and my ability to recover is through the roof. I'm training jiu-jitsu 3 times a week. I'm lifting weights 2 times a week, and the amount of time it takes for me to recover has reduced significantly. I'm 51 years old, and as an aging grappler, I got to do everything I can to stay on the mats. So I go through a pretty regimented recovery system, and BioPro. I also use the evening version. I forget what it's called, but it's fantastic. Get this stuff. Go to www.bioproteintech.com and put the promo code Foxcast. Promo code Foxcast will get you $30 off your order. Hit them up. You won't regret it.